Hey y'all, Cat Lady with a Kid here. I just wanted to share something with you. So many of you know that I have been doing violence prevention work for many years. This year marks the 30th year of doing that work in my life. And sometimes the work can feel really nebulous. You know, it can feel really intangible. And like, what difference is this making? Can you prove it's making a difference? Blah, 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 right? And so what I want to share with you is that my backstory is that about 20 years ago, well, exactly 20 years ago, I was invited to organize a demonstration project with a historically underserved population. And that population was youth who are homeless or unhoused. What I found in doing that work was that many of these youth were fleeing abusive homes where they weren't accepted for who they were, or their safety was in jeopardy, and that they felt that the streets was a safer place for them to be. And so I got contacted today by one of those young folks that I worked with many years ago, and he wanted to share something with me. A proud moment for him. Before I tell you about his proud moment, I want to give you a little context, a little more of the backstory. So when I first started working with unhoused youth, let's see, what do I want to say? I would go to the newly established youth drop-in center in our community that had recently opened up from the one and only organization at the time that was serving that population. And the drop-in center was known as Rosie's Place, which many people thought was named after me, but it really wasn't. It was named, from what I remember, it was named after a woman whose name, or at least her nickname, was Rosie, and I believe that she worked for DSHS. And so anyway, so I was in Rosie's Place one day, and just kind of trying to meet and greet folks, and this young man walks by, and I don't know that this is the same young man who contacted me today, but I'm sharing this memory because it just kind of it paints a picture of kind of the context that I was working in at that time. Okay, so we're in the drop-in center, and this young man walks by me, and I hear him say something about, "Oh, I hate my phone company, it's so gay," as if gay was this really bad thing, And so my immediate response was, "Ooh, what company is it? I want to have a gay phone company." And that led to having a larger conversation, both with that individual, but also with the other participants that were in the drop-in center at the time, as well as the outreach workers working for that organization. And so that's often what this work looked like, and does look like in my world anyway, is just engaging with folks in conversation, just, having some critical thinking. It's not, like trying to tell somebody what they should do or think or believe is not going to work. Okay, it's just not, right? When has that ever worked? But if we can be vulnerable enough to engage, to open up and engage in critical conversations, and not try to convince anybody, not try to sway anybody to believe the things that we believe, or to behave in the ways that we believe people should behave with one another, but instead to just ask curious questions, and to really listen to the responses, and to let the conversation unfold. And I think that in this way, we have an opportunity to really respect one another, respect one another's intelligence, and the other piece of it is allowing space, making room to think about the world that we want to live in, not just accepting the way that things are. It's a bus going by. But first, identifying what it is about the world that we live in that feels icky, that feels unsafe, that feels unwelcoming. And then to imagine the world that we want to live in. A world where each of us feels safe and welcome. Where each of us have bodily autonomy. Where each of us can give and receive respect from others in our community. Okay, so I'll get off my soapbox now and tell you about the message that I received today. Okay, so this young man, who's probably not so much of a young man anymore, considering that we knew each other close to 20 years ago. And he contacted me today because he was so proud, and I am so proud of him. And what he shared with me brought me to tears. Because what he shared was that today he completed a certification for being able to provide culturally responsive care to LGBTQ folks who are needing care. So I don't know what the exact context is, if it's hospice, if it's, like home care, I'm not sure. But the point is that he's so proud at his own growth and his own ability to not only accept and respect, but also to be responsive and open to helping folks who are not like him. That's great. And so he wanted to share that he got this certification. Yay, Andrew, so proud of you. And he just wanted to say what an impact that our conversations had on him. And so I share that because I believe that each of us have within us this immense power and influence in our world. And I don't think we recognize that enough. I don't think we honor that enough. I don't think we utilize that enough. We are powerful beings. We have created all, other than what nature has provided, everything else humans have done. And it's awesome. But to what end, right? Is the world currently the way that we want it to be? No, I don't care what your beliefs are. The world is not the way we want it to be. The point is that if you take the time to identify what it is in this world that you don't like, and then spend at least as much time, if not more, envisioning the world that you do want to live in, and then sharing that with others, talking with others. And yes, people are going to tell you you're crazy and that that's not possible. But you know what? There's lots of things that at some point were not possible until they were. Because people created so many things. And it's not about the things. Like, I think we got hung up on the idea of the tangible. I think it's time for us to turn to the intangible. To consider, again, what is that world that we want to live in? What does it look like? And then to slowly and surely take steps towards that new world. Believe in your impact. Believe in your your strength, the glow that you have to share with the world. It serves no one. It serves absolutely no one for you to say, oh, who am I to do this? Or, nobody's going to listen to me. Hell, there was a time when nobody listened to me. But you know what? You just keep going. You just live your truth. And people will see that. And yeah. Thank you. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. And also thank you for showing up in this world. Thank you for sharing your light.